The Ides of Bellum, Episode 1, The Beginning of Sorrows, Pilot, Chapter 1, Act 1. Fade in. Exterior, Ambrosios, open field. Establishing shot of a mountainous area just behind some fields. Suddenly, we hear the thunderous sound of many feet trampling upon one another, heading closer and closer towards the field. Filtering in from amongst the mountains are the people running for their lives. Men, women, and children are hurrying as fast as they can to get away. We don't see from what they're running. Many are dressed in plain, ragged clothes of white, simple peasant attire. Men in white short sleeves and long pants, and women in white long dresses. The kids are attired in the same fashion. One little boy, about 7 years old, is running, but looking back every so often to spot his kinfolk amongst the many. He, Suman, doesn't seem them and is fearful. Suman. Kavi, Palav. He runs around screaming out their names once more. Suman continued. Kavi, Palav. Elsewhere in the field, Kavi, another little boy, about 10 years old, is also looking around for family. Kavi. Palav, Suman. He continues to run as he hears no response. Amongst the many fleeing, there's a little child, another boy, Palav, about 5 years old, sitting on the field, crying. An older man sees the child and scoops him up in his arms and then continues to flee. Older man, to Palav. What are you doing? It will crush you if you sit there. Back to Saman, as is beside himself as he can't find his brothers. He looks back again, and now his expression changes as though he is seeing the object that is chasing him. He's frozen in fear and can't move. We hear this tremendously deep roaring. Horror is written across Saman's face as he stands there unable to move. Interior, Ambrosios. The royal palace, queen's bedroom, night. The queen, Rexella, jolts up from her sleep, startled by her dream of the three boys. She sits up in bed, breathing heavily. Taurus, out of shot. The dream? Rexella. Yes. Taurus, out of shot. Was there anything new in it this time? Rexella. No, nothing. It's always the same. Oris. Taurus, a wise old owl, flies across the room and onto the bedpost, where he can speak face to face with Rexella. She, for her part, is around 30 years of age. Strong, stern, and compassionate are her commendable attributes. Taurus. We can do nothing more with that vision until we know more, Your Highness. She gets up off the bed, walks over to her vanity. She gets up off the bed, walks over to her vanity desk, chair, and mirrors, sits down, and combs her hair. Rexella, ignoring this point. Has there been any news from the West? She looks briefly at him. Rexella. The black zests. Taurus. None, Queen Rexella. Morning is coming. I shall return. He flies off. Rexella. Yes, Taurus. Until tonight. She gets up, walks over to a large door, opens it, and walks out onto a large veranda overlooking the kingdom below. The sun is coming up over the horizon, and in the distance we can see some movement within the kingdom. Rexella continued. Good morning, Ambrosios. Act 1. End.